All right, well, let's talk about Day Without a Gay.
Well, it's interesting. I actually came up with the idea in 2005 and turned that into a TV movie.
Really?
Yep, A&E did a movie called Wedding Wars, which was a romantic comedy about what if gays went on strike to fight for the right to get married. It starred John Stamos and Eric Dane, and this was in the wake of all of what was going on in the country at that time, from Gavin Newsom in San Francisco to the new Pulse mayor to the passage of gay marriage in Massachusetts. And we felt like we needed to find a larger canvas to try to explain what's really at the root of this whole marriage debate. So we ended up using a fictionalized story that we're now making into a reality show.
Oh, good. So how's the reality show going to work?
Well, I mean, I'm being facetious, but we borrowed the title of A Day Without Gays from the
I see. You're talking about
A Day Without Mexicans, and now we're
right.
going through with the second part, which is the one-day boycott and strike. So
yeah, okay,
we're making it a reality.
Gotcha. Okay,
Bringing it to life.
So Day Without a Gay, you're supposed to call in gay tomorrow. I tried that before, and it didn't work. I guess they figured, I don't know, I guess they figured I wasn't gay.
Well, the truth of the matter is, calling gay is just a euphemism, a little too tongue-in-cheek for everybody. Right. But there are actually three actions we're calling for. Call in sick, take the day off. It's a strike, basically, a one-day strike. And if regardless of whether you can or not, then the second part of the action is to boycott. Don't spend money, don't contribute to the economy, or pack a lunch. And the third thing we're asking people to do is participate. Participate by either volunteering for an organization like a lesbian or gay organization, or we actually want you to go off and participate by volunteering for those communities that haven't supported our rights traditionally. We feel strongly if they get to know us, they realize we're just like them, we deserve to be treated equally. And the last thing we ask people to do is to get out and petition to help overturn these anti-gay measures like Prop 8 and the Defense of Marriage Act that deny us full equality.
Yeah.
So there's three calls to action that day. Not everyone seems to notice that, but it's a little more than just calling in gay.
What's going to be happening around, well, I assume you're in Southern California.
That's correct.
Is something going on in L.A.?
Well,
rally,
there are a number of spontaneous rallies, but people are having a hard time getting their head around what a strike and boycott is. It's an individual action. It's for those people who don't want to go out in the streets necessarily and march or protest or feel that they've done that. I actually led the first ever Freedom to Marry March in Los Angeles in 1994. We took over Gay Pride Day, and it became this rather large event spontaneously because of the passion surrounding this issue. But this is really trying to reach out to everyone, gays or lesbians or anyone who feels strongly that we deserve full equality in society. And so it's an individual act. It's it's taking the day off work and going to or volunteer for groups and organizations or get signatures.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Well, thank you.
And I'm not gay, and I think it's a great idea.
Well, the truth of the matter is it's more about what happens today and Thursday. This is about raising awareness. If we're not willing to sacrifice one day of work, if we're not willing to take some risk on behalf of our rights and place those rights ahead of our own wallet, then why should the general community step up and fight for us? And why should the courts and the legislatures defend our rights if we're not really ready to stick our necks out and put it on the line? We took our cues from other civil rights movements, from the Montgomery bus boycott to Gandhi's March to the Sea to the anti-apartheid boycotts. People really took it on the chin, but that's because they put their rights first.
We're talking to TV producer David Craig in Los Angeles about Day Without a Gay. Now, again, this is inspired by a few years ago when they did the Day Without a Mexican, and that became a documentary, right?
Well, it started actually as a satirical film, and then it turned into a one-day protest around the country called A Day Without Immigrants.
That's right.
It really garnered an enormous amount of attention around immigrant rights. It was a symbolic protest more than anything that day, which is what ours is as well. It's our Boston Tea Party.
That's it. Throw it in the harbor.
Exactly.
And on the website it says, let's fight for equality by outloving those who would deny us rights. I like that. You can call in gay tomorrow, December 10th. That's International Human Rights Day as well.
That's correct. That's by design. Actually, what happened on November 5th, I went and posted this event on Facebook, found out there were probably a half dozen other people who had come up with the same idea, the same day, the same time. We all got together and realized December 10th was the ideal day to do this because it is not only a human rights issue, it's an equal rights issue.
Yeah, exactly. Now, San Francisco, I know there's going to be a rally at least, and I think there's a few activities going on in San Francisco tomorrow. I don't have that info in front of me, but do you know of any?
I do, actually. There's a number of different rallies, you're right, and they've all been spontaneous. They've all come up from the streets, which is the nature of what's going on here in the wake of Prop 8. Lots of grassroots activism, not coming from the top down, but from the bottom up. We're not an organization, we're just individuals, and somehow my site has garnered 750,000 people have visited it, and 250,000 people have signed up and said they're going to participate, and 18,500 people have written comments to debate, support, deride, or discuss this very issue, which has been the most amazing thing.
So I guess we don't know yet, but I guess because you mentioned this is some of this is spontaneous as people get together tomorrow. I assume it'll happen on the in New York and some other major metropolitan areas.
Actually, here's an interesting thing. LGBT businesses and those who work at those businesses aren't necessarily participating because it isn't necessarily contributing to the cause. What we're finding is in small towns across America, thanks to the beauty of Facebook and the Internet, straight people are closing their businesses down. There's a single mother in Gulf Breeze, Florida, a mother of 2 college-age sons, who's closing down her framing business that day. There's a married mother of 2 infants in Jacksonville, Florida, who closed down her housekeeping business. An interior designer in Phoenix, Arizona, who's closing down his business for the day. It's kind of extraordinary that this is happening not in the conventional gay and lesbian communities, but out in the heartland. We are finding a groundswell of support from the moderates and those who recognize this as a religious issue. It's a legal issue. It's a civil rights issue. It's an equal rights issue. In fact, there's a Newsweek poll that just came out that said for the first time ever, the majority of Americans actually believe gay and lesbian relationships need to be recognized by the state and deserve at least the same rights and benefits and privileges of marriage. And that's an enormous shift in opinion in just a very short period of time.
Not to be a buzzkill here, but I've been looking at postings on the website on daywithoutagay.com, and I'm seeing all this hateful stuff and long involved messages from people posting these that are very negative and ugly. It's
really
weird.
Fantastic, actually. No, we revel in that. We celebrate that. First off, it is in the same passage of the First Amendment that provides freedom of religion that we also are offered the freedom to protest and organize and stand up to our government when we don't feel we're being treated fairly. And that's the beauty of this country, is that it gives us these freedoms to actually state our opinions and stand up for what we believe in. And what's happened, quite honestly and remarkably, is that the minute these postings come on the site, people from all over the country, and usually and remarkably young people, stand up and say, no, that's wrong. And they start quoting whether it's Bible passages, whether it's constitutional amendments, whether it's civil court cases, and really take those people to task and say you need to qualify and justify and explain your discrimination and your hatred. Otherwise, it really doesn't belong there in this world. It's really been a phenomenal, empowering, remarkable thing. There's a huge amount of support, as we know, from people under 40 who don't even understand why this is being debated anymore. Yeah,
exactly. Wow, pretty amazing. Well, good job, David. Day Without a Gay. It's happening tomorrow. Go to daywithoutagay.com for more info. David, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck tomorrow, and we'll talk sometime in the future.
Thanks so much.
All right, David.
Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.